Shalom, Israel. This is Raptor News family. So I just want to start off with stating my intent. Hopefully this is loud enough where you can hear me. That I intend on, if the Most High wills, teaching and reading the scriptures to the women of Israel, because it is important, even as women, to know this book and to study it as it should be studied. As God says, it has to be the whole family. The women also need to bind the book to their heart and study it as it should be studied. Study to show yourself approved. So that is my intention, is to bring, hopefully, I don't know, I can't say it's going to be every day, but hopefully bring enough lessons or things to share and to teach the women of Israel. God is also going to search women, your heart, and make sure that you know the words. It's not only for your man or the spiritual leaders or the priests to know this book and bind it on their heart. It's also your duty as a woman, whether you like it or not. But also, because also you need to know these books. You need to back up your man, your priest, the righteous men of Israel. You need to be there to support them and back it up. You need to know the book and know what you're talking about as well. You also need to be, you also need to know the book and be able to also instill it in your children as well. So, you know, just come together as a family, read. Even as the woman, you could read to your children. You could teach them things that you know. Read to them before they go to bed, anything. Just get these words instilled in them. The way you direct a child is that's how they're going to go, if the Most High wills. So it is also our duty to learn this book and treat it with respect. It is our inheritance, and so it is best that we study it as it should be studied as well. But also my intention is to just share the knowledge and remind all of Israel with the book and the words of the Most High God, because a reminder is beneficial to any believer in the Most High God of Israel, man or woman, and it doesn't matter who it's coming from. A reminder is not asserting authority. A reminder is what it is. It's a reminder. And also sharing the words of God is just reading the book, and that's what we do. We come together and we read. We enjoying this truth in these words of the Most High God. And so if anyone wants to listen and tune in, the stranger among us, whoever, that's fine. But I'm not here to assert authority over a man or to teach a man. Just to share. And it's pretty much, I would just say, regurgitating what my Father has already taught us and what the Most High has given him through the Spirit and has already taught us. And be like, oh, we already heard this before, like he always used to say. But the way he taught us in this house is by repetition. That's how you get good at anything. You practice. You keep, even if it's the same thing over and over again. Even with your children, if they're, oh, we heard this already, keep teaching them the same things over and over until that is instilled there, that is just there in their hearts. So pretty much this document that you see here is all put together. It was already put together by my father, not this pink. That was me. But it's just all the words that he has said, maybe a little bit changed here and there in videos prior, but it's just gonna be regurgitated, reset again. So yeah. So let's get into it. This is called How to Offer God a Pure Heart, because right now we are in the end times. We don't have, if we make it to the end of this year, we're doing good. So we know that we're right around that time again, and I'm talking about the time of the year, and we know we've been close to the end. It's just any moment now, and we need to be looking into ourselves and how we are going to be accepted by the Most High. What is he looking for? How is he going to accept us? Because the time is so nigh. We need to focus more on our salvation than anything else in this world. Than anything, your job, your money, anything, whatever fun you think you want to go have, anything. You need to focus on your salvation. That is top priority. So like, that's what you need to be focused on. So you need to, right now, start. You should have been doing it, but really fix yourself, because you don't know, any moment you could just drop dead. The Most High could come take you back, and if He finds you in a state of uncleanliness, then you're going to hell. That's just straight up. You're gonna be burnt by that fire. So you just need to. This is what we need to do: focus on salvation and really fine-tooth comb ourselves, as my father used to say. So that is what this topic is centered around, because you have to have a pure heart. So it says, when God comes to pick up His chosen, they have to be purified and blameless, which is the truth. God is not gonna come pick you up. You're not His chosen if you're filthy, you're dirty, you're doing all this sin and crime. You're not gonna be picked up. You're not gonna be counted amongst the chosen and the saints. You just ain't. And so this is what we need to focus on right now, is our salvation and just getting it right. So it says, when God comes to pick up His chosen, they have to be purified and blameless. Proverbs 30:5. Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in Him. God is looking for His word to be written on your heart. Written on your heart means that you have to have a love for His commandments. Okay? So let's move on. Ezra 6:20. For the priests and the Levites were purified together. All of them were pure. And why is that? Because God's words are pure, and they place those words on their hearts. That's what they did. So you got to place those words in your hearts. You can't be a priest if you don't know the words of God. And if you don't love the words of God, you're not going to retain it. But also, you can't be a believer if you do not know the words of God, if you do not love the words of God, if you do not love the mighty Most High God of Israel. We must all bind these words on our hearts and study to show ourselves approved, each and every one of us. Psalm 18:26. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure. Job 8:6. If you were pure and upright, surely now He would awake for thee and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. So God is not looking to what the world is looking to defile themselves. The world thinks that the more defiled things, the more wickedness they learn. Oh, that's the smarter they become. Oh, now we live in our life. They think living life is being foul, as nasty and dirty as they can. But that ain't it. That ain't what life is about. All they doing to themselves is corrupting themselves, defiling themselves, and you're moving further away from God and cursing yourself. You ain't gonna make it like that. Micah 6:11. Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances? So are you gonna be counted with the pure? Are you gonna be the same if you're wicked? Wickedness and holiness cannot be compared as equal. They're both very different. And with the bag of deceitful weights. So all these wicked Christians think they're going to go through life being wicked, following the ways of the world, doing as the world do. When in Rome, do as the Romans. You know, they're going to do everything that the world does, fit in with the world, and they think that God is going to come and deliver them. God is going to lift them up and take them to some holy heavenly place just because they them, I guess. But that ain't how it works. God is not going to come and pick up all the trash and deliver you. You and all your trash, your trashiness. Oh, come here, trashy servant, get into my holy, clean paradise. Nah, ain't happening. Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Not the defiled and the wicked. You ain't gonna see nothing but the hellfire. And again, with certainty, they will see the hellfire. 2 Peter 3:14. Therefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent, that you may be found by Him in peace, without spot and blameless. So if you want to be in the handful, the remnant that is taken up to the mighty Most High God of Israel, then you need to be found without spot, blameless, and that means without the stain, the filth of this world's life, and iniquity and sin. You have to not copy off the people of the world, but place the book on your heart, which is pure, by studying it as it should be studied. Study to show yourself approved, Israel, and love it as it should be loved. because these are the pure words of the mighty Most High God of Israel, and they should matter to you. It shouldn't just be for, oh, that's for the priest, that's for the men to learn, no, you should be learning it. It should be important to you as well. Every last one of us, it should be important to, and we should learn it and bind it to our hearts. John 9:31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. So he's not going to listen to the sinners. He's not going to listen either to ones who have wicked balances, wicked deeds on their scales. He's looking for one without spot and blemish and blameless. Without spot, blemish, and blameless. When he comes. So if God doesn't hear sinners, if he doesn't hear sinners or ones with wicked balances, why would he come pick you up? He's not going to do it. Why would he pick you up? Do you think you're special? There's no special class of sinners that, oh, we get to make it into heaven even though we sinning. No, you're going to get burnt. You're going to get burnt. You're not going to make it. He listened to a godly person who does his will. And what is his will? Place the book on your heart and live by every command and every word that cometh out of the Lord's mouth. Proverbs 1:28. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. So God doesn't hear sinners. He's not going to answer you. He don't love sinners. He doesn't love those who do wickedness. And guess what? They all love to do wickedness. They love to disobey God. They love immorality, fornication, adultery, drugs, and homosexuality. They love murder and everything evil. That is what this world is about. They don't love God. They don't love nothing good. And they still think at the end of the day of all they sinning and nasty, filthy crimes against God that they're going to be saved. They think God is going to bless some mess. No, he ain't. That ain't how it works. He said the fire is going to devour before it's coming, and the fire is going to try every man's work to see what sort it is. He ain't going to be talking to you. You ain't going to be explaining to God. You ain't going to explain nothing. You ain't going to explain your iniquities and your sins away to God. He don't want to hear it. He gave you long enough time to follow these commandments and do what he said to do. And that's bottom line. The only thing you're going to have fun talking to is the fire. Because you ain't going to explain it to God. And you ain't going to do much talking with fire. It's going to burn you. So that fire is coming to purge iniquity and sin off the land. And all y'all think God is playing with y'all, but he ain't. All these Christians, all these unbelievers, all these scoffers and mockers, you think God is playing with you, but when that fire comes, you ain't gonna think it's so much of a joke no more. Just like it says here, every time my Father or anyone righteous shows them or tells them about the fire on the horizon, planet hell, destroyer that is coming to purge and destroy sin and iniquity and pride, then y'all think it's a joke. They want to say you're crazy for showing them the truth and reality. Even if they see it with their own eyes, it just can't be true. I'm getting bewitched. Oh no, it's Project Bluebeam. Oh, anything to just turn away from the truth, anything to stay in denial. You're crazy for showing them the reality of their doom. You know why? Because they don't want to accept it, because they're scared and they know that they're going to be the ones getting burnt up. 1 Samuel 16:7. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. So, we know how men see all those out in the world. People see out the outer exterior. They're looking for pretty faces, pretty eyes, pretty blah, blah, whatever they lust after. But God is looking at the heart. So it says, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. And so if God is looking on the heart, and their hearts are defiled, and their hearts are defiled because the word of God is not on their hearts. The love of God is not on their hearts. But the love of money, fame, the world, and iniquity, that is on their hearts. And if God is looking at your heart, what do you think is going to happen when he finds, other than his words on your heart? When he finds filth and the taint of this world on your heart? Just you think it. Deuteronomy 30:6. And the Lord thy God will circumcise thy heart, and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. So God has to purify your heart from all that the world offers, all the taint that the world offers, all the stuff that's been embedded in you, when you raised and growing up in the world, and you learning all these bad ways. Well, now that gotta be taken out of you, gotta be like extracted out of you, gotta be burnt out of you, gotta be purified out of you. You've been learning some way for so long that it gets embedded in you, and you don't know how to learn any other way or accept any other way. Well, all that gotta get taken out of you. So your career, your college degree, anything that you have in this life, it ain't gonna fly in heaven. Your fame ain't gonna get you a ticket into the kingdom. How much you love by this world ain't gonna get you get you a ticket into the kingdom. Your pretty face or whatever you think you have ain't gonna get you into the kingdom. It might get you a reserved spot in hell. That's about it. Like God says in the Bible, you could gain the whole world and lose your soul. And what is all this crap for? All this stuff you gloating about and you happy that you have in this life. What is the enjoyment of it when you're gonna have to burn for it? What is it? What is this worth? It ain't worth nothing. Nothing matters. No money, no status. Nothing in this world matters but your relationship with your Creator and your salvation. That should be your only goal and focus. Forget this world. God is looking for someone who is going to sit down and read His testimony and His commandments and obey them to the fullest, without faltering, without letting them slide. You need to follow these commandments. Take it to heart. Put it on your heart. You need to love His word. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. You and your family. That is what God is looking for. God is looking at the heart. And what does He want to find on your heart? His words, because God's words are pure. So if God's words are pure and they are in your heart, bind it to your heart on that day. Then you are offering to God a pure heart, a pure, undefiled heart, even though you may have sinned before. As long as you quit those sins and you bind these words and these commandments on your heart, then you are offering to God a pure heart. So again, He wants you to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And of course we know living is actually the next life in the hereafter. It ain't this life. So you need to love Him with all your heart and your soul, which means you don't gotta love for fornication. You don't gotta love for dating and dirty movies and homosexuality, murder, drugs, chaos, wrath, sedition, or any other unclean thing, iniquity, or sin. You gotta love for the fruits of the Spirit of the Lord, not love for the world. Psalm 19:8. The statutes of the Lord are right. Rejoicing the heart, the commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. So the statutes, the commands, the words of God are all right, and that is what makes your heart rejoice. So you find satisfaction with the statutes of the Lord because they are right and they make your heart rejoice. The commandments of the Lord gives you vision to really see, because the rest of the world are seeing reticular vision, meaning they can only see their desires. They don't see the reality. They don't see the penalty in the future. That if they don't get it right, they're gonna burn in hell. And if they do get it right, if you do the commandments of God and you love them and you bind them to your heart, and that's what makes you rejoice. It gives you the vision to see that all you gotta do is obey God and you get saved from the fire. Deuteronomy 11:18. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. So this is a lamp that gets you across the highway of holiness into the kingdom of the Most High God. If these words are not in your heart, you ain't crossing the highway of holiness to get into the kingdom. Everyone must pass over hell to get into God's heaven. And that is why you need your lamp. It's because it's going to be a day of darkness. You know, the day of the Lord is going to be a day of darkness. You need to see your way. And the only thing that's going to light your way are the words of the Most High God, which is a lamp and a light between your eyes. So you need to bind these words. You need to know these words, or you ain't going to have your light. You fall right into the pit. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? So how dare you defile your body? How dare you defile the temple of God? That's what he's saying. Titus 1:15. Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto those who are defiled and unbelieving nothing is pure. But even their mind and their conscience is defiled. So when their hearts are defiled, they don't have a love for the Most High God and His laws. And all that's in their mind and their conscience, their mind, is continuous thoughts of wickedness and evil. And every imagination of the mind is evil. They hate God's words. So they hate God's word because they don't want to change. Because if they follow the words of the Most High God, that means they're going to have to change. They're going to have to change their corrupt worldly ways. And they don't want to change. But I bet you're going to want to change when you see the Most High God in that fire. Because of a certainty, when the Most High God comes, you have that filth in your heart. You're going to burn. So anybody that don't got God in their heart when He comes, so anybody that don't have God in their heart when He comes and ready to go will be burned by fire. Like He said, when you're leaving, you have a substance, and the only way you're going to have this substance if you know the words of God, because the substance is not gold, money, and all these material things. It's the words of God and His commandments binding on your heart. Like when you came here to this cursed country, anywhere, these Gentile lands, you're empty, you're worshiping idols, doing abominable acts. But when you're leaving the captivity, you're going to have substance. And that substance is God and His words on your heart. 1 Corinthians 3:17. If a man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, and ye are that temple. So the temple of God is you and that spirit inside of yourself. If you defile that, you're going to be destroyed. God breathed something good into you. And you should not let it be tainted by the world, because the world is going to breathe into you something wicked, something evil. You're going to steal all this nasty filth, and they're going to taint your heart. So right now you have to make a choice. Are you going to come wholeheartedly to the right side to the fullest? No wavering, no dibbling and dabbling in the sins that you want to do. You got to go full head straight on for the Most High if you're going to go. So you have a choice. Are you going to be on the right side, or are you going to be of the companions of the left, who is going to be said, depart from me, O you are on the left side, you workers of iniquities, the goats, the Gentiles, the devils? Are you going to be with them? You need to be with the sheep in the right hand of the Most High God, the one who takes these words of God serious, bind it on your heart, learn it, love it, and quit sin and let go of this life. Let go of your ways of sin. You need to be the ones that do that in order to make it. This is the Rap News family. That sounded funny. Okay, let me try it again. This is Rap the News family. I just need to put in my damn. Where did my recorder go? Oh my goodness. Let me find it. Did it stop? Oh my goodness. Why would that happen?